The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Coming to you live.
We're live.
From the basement of an abandoned training facility where we talk about fighting, training, and events. It's the Fight Mixer Show, where you can hear about all the local and world combat sports happenings. Get ready. It's time to gear up and square up because we're going live. And now,
Broadcasting live.
We will broadcast live
on the Fight Mixer Show.
What's up, all my bros and hoes in different area codes with swollen lymph nodes and tiny chodes? Welcome to another edition of the Fight Mixer program on Amazon, Roku, Apple TV, YouTube, illegal streaming. Those bunny ears from 1978. I'm here with Thunder, Jay Catton, the man himself. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm ready for this show.
Fuck yeah. And Gabe is on dad duty. He's actually going to Six Flags, brought the kid. They posted a picture, and they both have the same grumpy face. And the DNA test is in. They are related.
That's awesome.
Fucking crazy, man. We have Anthony. The assassin is going to be coming through. He's going to be in the building. Anthony's going to be coming through in a little bit. We're also going to talk about five topics in the world of combat sports, the wild and wacky world of combat sports. I have a big announcement at the end of the evening. So big things happening, big things going on. I'm excited. Everybody's excited. You're excited. I can't wait.
We have to wait till the end to get the good news.
Yeah, I gotta wait till the end. I gotta drop a little bit of teaser, like a little bit of a nugget, and then we can wait till the end for. But nevertheless, we have big discussions, big topics to fucking talk about. We got a lot to cover. Of course, Usman's fighting Edwards, so obviously we're gonna go over that. Everybody, feel free to comment, join the discussion. We also have to talk about BKFC getting canceled, crazy stuff going on. Mayweather and tag team boxing. We're also going to talk about Zaganu possibly fighting Deontay Wilder, and should teammates fight each other was a big discussion. But nevertheless, we got the assassin is finally in the ring. What's going on, man?
There we go. What's good? What's good?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. How about yourself? What's up, Jake?
What's good?
Now you guys go way back. You guys are buddies, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. That's my dog right there.
But we don't. We actually just we've known each other for a long time, but we just officially met how long ago?
What movie set was that?
Mojave, I think.
No, it was before Mojave. Phoenix.
That's right.
Yeah, Phoenix. That's right.
And of course, you need no introduction. MMA veteran, kickboxing veteran, also a coach. You actually dabble in a little bit of acting too. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. But UFC veteran. So what's been going on, man? What's been shaking in your world?
Right now, just been doing my thing, teaching, training, doing the movie stunts and all that. Been really training heavily in that, getting ready for some movies that are supposed to come up.
Nice. Well, what movies are coming up? Wait, can you talk about? Did you not sign a non-disclosure?
Spill the beans. Spill. No, just kidding.
Nothing has come up yet, but we're just waiting for the call. Just like if you're fighting, stay ready. Stay ready. Yeah.
Our boys in command.
The what?
I said, our boy is in demand. Every time I go to a movie set, there he is.
Hey, I'm just trying to be like the next Michael Jai White.
There
We're
we go.
talking
There you go. So for people that are not familiar with your handiwork, we put together a compilation. Actually, we got a compilation of all your handiwork, all your fights. And here's a little highlight just to show the assassin's handiwork.
Make sure it's good. Let's champagne flutes up, baby, it's a celebration. Shout out to the flies, the pride of my generation. Well educated and underappreciated. Still pulling bras that make me the most hated. Legendary track record, man, always with a 10. Treat them good, give them stories for their friends. They just looking for adventure, a lot of fun. I done had my share of problems, model ones. It's the same damn story, man, I'm just trying to spin it. Same damn game, man, I'm just trying to win it. Shout out to my hustlers that's doing it independent. See you at the top, we gon' be there any minute. Living like a rolling stone, homie Ronnie Wood. Trying to get a second home out in Hollywood. And pretty girls be the best band-aid for my self-esteem. Got a Chuck Berry hustle with an Elvis stream. That's why we grind hard, it's no mystery. Cause every moment of our life we write history. Every moment of our life we write history. Every moment of our life we write hits, we write hits. That's why we grind hard for the victory. Cause every moment of our life we write history.
Oh,
That is a bad man right there. That is a bad man right there.
That is a dope ass song too.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
That thing, history.
It can't go wrong with Mr. Leslie. You know what I'm saying? That's
Nah, not at all. That was a dope song. Had me jamming.
so. Yes, sir. So, going into your career, obviously, how'd you get started? How'd you get involved with mixed martial arts to where you are today, coaching, mentoring? Actually, have a pretty good fighter on your stable and your roster who's also fighting the UFC. Also, your brother as well. So this is a family business. So how'd you get involved?
Well, actually, fighting was by accident. It wasn't something I was trying to get into martial arts all my life to get into. Really, I was trying to be a breakdancer. And then it went from going to a breakdancing school to moving over to a Muay Thai class. So as I'm entering this breakdancing school, they told me, you know what, in order to get a good deal, you have to do like a second elective or pick a second type of physical activity to do. So I was like, all right, you know what, let me go ahead and do this kickboxing because kickboxing it'll help me protect myself. So I joined in. The guy that I was teaching first, it was an American kickboxing teacher, and then he was like, we're going to switch things up. He brought a guy from California, but he's Thai, to teach the classes. And then from there, I guess the guy loved the area, loved where he was at, and then he ended up staying here, started teaching all the class, and became the main Muay Thai teacher. And then from there, when he was leaving the place, I guess he saw the potential in me. And said, hey, come on, go with me. I'm going to open up my own gym. I went with him. And then from there, yeah, the rest is history. So he told me, hey, stop doing that dancing shit and let's get in this fight. Yeah, so I won my first fight, and then that's when the story started. Yeah.
Nice. And when was your first fight? When did you first step into the ring?
What was crazy is that me and my brother, we had our first fights together. We actually fought two brothers. So he fought the little brother and I fought the older brother. And we ended up knocking out both. He knocked out the younger brother, and I knocked out the older brother. And that first fight was, I believe it was 1999 or 2000. It's a long time ago.
Hell yeah.
There you go. So you're a pioneer and a veteran, just like Mr. J. Catton. So you guys, obviously, that's how you guys became friends. You're pioneers.
Hey, that's why we connect. That's why we connected so quickly.
Yeah, heck yeah. And did you guys ever cross paths? Like, did you guys ever cross train? Did you guys ever when did you guys first cross paths?
The only time we crossed paths was when I met him on the movie set. And that was about it. We never got a chance to actually train with each other.
We actually taught the same at the UFC gym. We taught the same.
That's right. That's right.
I took over your class, and then I think I went again, and you took over. So we were swapping teaching duties as well.
That's right.
All guy to live up to.
Completely forgot all about that. The what?
I said it's a hard guy to live up to teaching.
I completely forgot all about that UFC gym.
It's easy to forget about.
Oh yeah. The things that they made you do.
All right.
You couldn't teach like actual, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy.
Wait, you gotta elaborate now. Now you gotta elaborate. What happened at that UFC gym?
Well, the thing is, they don't want you to teach technique. It's too much, from what they said. And I mean,
Really?
being a fighter, and you having the name UFC gym, you would think that that's what they wanted, but you have to cater to what the customers wanted. So they wanted that aerobics, kickboxing.
They're like the Planet Fitness of workout facilities.
Yeah. It was very frustrating, to tell you the truth, because what I wanted to teach, they didn't want it. And then some of the people would come up and be like, some of the people wanted it because they actually wanted to learn how to fight. But then some of them wanted just to do the whole Taibo stuff. And there was one girl, actually, I don't know if you remember that girl. She came in one day, she had a black eye. And I was like, what happened to you? And she was like, yeah, these girls try to fight me. And I was like, oh, so you beat them up, huh? He's like, no, I got beat up. I was like, see, that's what I told you. That stuff that you're doing is not going to work on the street. It'll help you get in shape. And I asked her, so how long did you last? Well, I lasted longer than them, but they got me. And I was like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. You'll last a very long time using that kind of technique, but on the streets, it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's frustrating for sure.
Oh, yeah, it was very.
But back in the day, could you guys ever imagine that like there would be McDonald's worth of like UFC gyms sprouting out? Like it was actually going to be a brand name where there's UFC gyms now. It's now mainstream. And did you ever imagine that the sport would get to where it is now, where the gyms are popping up like McDonald's? It's crazy.
Well, I feel like that whole platform that they had kind of like hurt them, because not many of the actual people that wanted to learn how to fight didn't go to that gym. So that's why a bunch of the UFC gyms now are closing down, because nobody really wants to learn all that stuff. They'll go to title boxing and learn that.
That's fair. That's fair. And I think the original idea, like you got these franchisees and you got these people that like they'll get the licensing, they'll pay for the licensing, they'll open up a gym. And I would like to describe it kind of like the Ultimate Fighter, where it's a Trojan horse to get normal folk who, are not built like you and Jake, who are fighters and competitors, but introduce it where, fighting's for everybody. It's in our DNA. We're engraved with it. We're born with the DNA, the genetic makeup to defend ourselves. So do you think like the UFC gym and all that stuff is kind of like that Trojan horse to get normal folk involved into the sport? Therefore, they watch it and they say, "Oh, okay, UFC's for everybody. It's not just for these superhuman people like the Assassin and Thunder Jake had."
Well, I feel like they tried that, but hence the whole platform. Yeah, the whole platform kind of messed everything up. I mean, they were having people who were teaching that were like white belts teaching there.
No shit.
Didn't know a damn thing about how to throw a corrective punch. So all they really had was like a fitness background. So that's why if you had like a minimal martial arts skills, but you had a fitness background, yeah, those are people that were getting picked up. But the people who had actual fighting experience, they kind of like looked past them, like, okay, we don't want your type of style, because we feel like Grandma Gina over there wouldn't like to fight, Bertha on the street. She's coming here and like learn how to get fit. But yeah, hence why they took away the whole franchising thing and started that whole UFC Fit platform. And now the UFC owns all of them. So yeah, so you can't, unless you're a fighter now, you can't own a UFC gym.
So obviously you are into coaching now. You're honing the next generation of fighter, the next caliber of athlete, and designing them in your likeness and designed to be just as a badass as you are. So, as far as being a coach is concerned, do you ever just say, man, you know what? I need to get my next fight as soon as humanly possible. Like you watch these young guys coming up, you're training them. Yeah, you're ringside at the UFC fight, watching your boys win, watching your crew win, your teammates win. Do you ever just miss it? Do you ever just say, yeah, I want to climb in, I want to do this another 5 times this year? Do you ever miss it?
Heck yeah, I miss it a lot. I miss going in there. Come on, who would? Especially somebody who's doing it for 25 years. I just said how old I am. For 25 years, yeah, I miss it. I miss being in the ring. I miss miss the crowd screaming your name, miss the adrenaline, just that adrenaline dump when you're walking out and just you getting the vibe with the crowd. Yeah, I miss all that. But now I'm getting that from all the fighters that I train, and I also still get the same vibe, still get the same feeling from when my brother walks out, because it's still same last name, chatting it out. So I'm still getting it through them, but I still wouldn't mind going back in there at least one more time, and then I'll call it quits after that.
What would be your dream fight to go out?
My dream fight?
Yeah, in any platform, kickboxing, like any platform.
Bro, don't even ask me that.
What would be the ultimate platform to go
fighting
out?
Jake Paul? That's my dream.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I wouldn't mind boxing that lame guy, but yeah, I would love to box him. Because I see all the people besides Tommy Fury, who actually put it on him. I would love to go in there and show him what true stand-up, a true MMA fighter that has good true stand-up can do against him. And that's what I would love to. If Jake Paul's watching this, come on, bro, let's go.
Let's go, Jake Paul.
Let's go.
And just to put some clarification into it, you're not just a very, very talented UFC veteran, but also your kickboxing career. Like I was watching, it reminded me of like Remy Bojaski, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
Like all the greats. Like
one of my heroes.
Yeah. So so many greats, Ernesto Hoost, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I was getting Ernesto Hoost flashbacks as I was watching some of your fights. But what would you say as far as your MMA career and your kickboxing career? What would you say is your favorite memory from 25 years of combat sports and 25 years of just stellar performance after stellar performance?
With my MMA career would be when I fought Edson Barboza.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I wish they would like highlight that a lot. Well, Edson and Chris Rodesky.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, there's three really. It's Edson, Chris Rodesky, and he's on the highlight. Bart Pelishevsky. Those guys, because those are like the best knockouts. But with Edson, it was like the best fight that we had, and especially with it being my debut, everybody was saying, "Man, Edson's gonna take you out with those leg kicks. How you feel about those leg kicks?" I look at them like, bro, come on. I take leg kicks from WBC world champion kickboxers and Muay Thai fighters. I've been doing Muay Thai since I was like 18 years old, taking hard leg kicks from some matter of fact from Shannon the Cannon when he first came to Saxon's gym back in the day. Yeah. As far as Shannon the Cannon, I was how old was I? I was 20 years old. I remember. I told Shannon that I don't think Shannon remembers when we talked about this. But yeah, Shannon Cannon, when he first came in, he was like dropping leg kicks on me. Bah. We're sparring. I was a young ass kid. I don't think he remembers, but yeah, that was one of the coolest times of my life, especially when he came into the gym. I believe he came with Guy Mesger back in the day. Yeah.
Holy
shit. Yeah, it was
I knew that name.
Bro, you gotta understand, when those guys walked through Saxon's door, I was like, oh shit. I was hella intimidated, but then when we started sparring, then it was like, man, I'm actually sparring with somebody I've seen fight and pride and all this stuff. It was a good feeling.
Yep.
But, yeah, and I was like, when I was telling them, I sparred people that threw heavier leg kicks on me than Edson, and they was like, okay, well, we're gonna put our money on you. I was like, yeah, motherfucker, you better put your money on me. So then we went in there. I mean, even though I ended up losing, doing that stupid walk down especially when I was winning the fight. But hey, you learn. You win some, you lose some. But you live and learn, because I learned a lot from not walking like a dumbass straight into a fucking spinning heel kick. But he didn't knock me out though, so that's all that matters.
Didn't knock you out.
Oh yeah, and then Chris Rodesky, man, that one, everybody thought I was gonna lose. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought I was gonna lose that fight too, to tell you the truth, because hey, it's Chris. He beat Bart, and I was thinking, shit, I beat Bart. Man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go in there and do my thing. So then, right when I see him like across the ring, I was like, man, that's the guy that I'm supposed to be scared of. He was like 5'4". I'm like 6'1". Come on. And then once I started throwing those hands, and I was like, yeah, I got this. And then when he went in for that shot and I did that takedown, that's when I knew that I really had it. And I don't know why that they do this at his gym. They'll run away from you and reset. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is my big chance. Chased him down and did that kick and knocked him out with that one. But first, Bart was at first spot Bart, and they were telling me that, yeah, this is the guy that he beat Chris. So he's going to be a tough opponent. Well, yeah, that's right. I fought Chris first, then I fought Bart. Then that's when I remembered that I beat Chris. And then, my bad, no. I'm crisscrossing them. Yeah, I fought Bart first, then I fought Chris.
Both tough strikers, too.
Huh?
Both tough strikers.
Oh, yeah, they were. And Bart was back. We didn't show the whole fight, but Bart was like, he gave me a really good fight up until I did that fake cross to a right hook. I mean, to a right hook. Once I did that, that's when I knew that I had him. And yeah, that was one of the best fights that I feel like I had because of the way that I took him out.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Awesome fights, awesome memories. So, going back to what, coaching and, contributing and adding to the game by bringing up and honing the craft of so many young, talented people. What do you look for as a coach that you saw in yourself at a young age that you said, okay, I could be a fighter and I can excel at this at the highest level, because you did fight at the highest level. But what do you look for as a coach in students to say, hey, Anthony, I want to be like you. I want to fight in the UFC. I want to fight in kickboxing. What do you look for in a student that you say, this guy's going to be coachable? I can make something of this athlete. Like, what do you look for as a coach?
What I look for really is I don't look, because not everybody's going to be talented in the beginning of coming up to me to start coaching. What I look for, if you have heart, you're easy to work with, and you're coachable, that's all I care about. Once I see that, then yeah, I'll put all my heart and soul into you to get you to where you want to be, and to get you to be a champion, or even just to be one of the best in the world in the craft that I'm really, familiar with.
Absolutely. So before we go into 5 topics, I gotta ask you. I've seen all your videos, seen all your fights. Gives me Vietnam flashbacks and spoilers. I was not in Vietnam. I'm getting secondhand concussions. I might sue you because you hit so hard. But nevertheless, who would you say my number one favorite MMA fighter of all time? Because Yuji Sakuraba. Favorite kickboxer, Ray Sefo. My favorite wrestler of all time, Ruin Gardner. Like, we all have inspirations, but what would you say is your biggest inspiration as far as, and boxing, Mike Tyson. You got to be a Mike Tyson fan. But nevertheless,
yeah.
Who would you say is your favorite fighter?
You can't leave. Yeah, come on, yeah. I would say boxing, Muhammad Ali.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, you can't forget about Muhammad Ali. And MMA, of course, Anderson Silva. For me, John Jones.
Yep.
For real, can't leave that guy out because I'm tired of them not giving him his props, and they should. Yeah, he's had his downs, but come on, the guy's been wrecking it since he was 23, a young
21.
kid.
21.
Yeah, and he's still going strong. Like, come on, that one. Yeah, of course, Remy Bonjasky, kickboxing, Ramon Decker, Ray Sefo, of course, Bokal. All those kickboxers. What's the other one?
What about your WWE star?
Who?
Hulk Hogan or
Hulk Hogan wrestling? You know me. I can go old school because I'm old school. The Von Erichs.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
Good one.
You can't forget about the Von Erichs. Those guys right there, except for, each and every one of them. It was 2 of them that died and 1's still alive, correct?
One's left. Yeah,
one
of them died in weird circumstances. But
yeah, so it'll be them, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not gonna lie, The Undertaker. Come on now. Come on now.
I met him. He's a
Kane. Can't forget about Kane. You forgot about Kane. Can't forget about Kane. Kane is one. Kane was like he was one of my top. And don't get me wrong, him and Hulk Hogan. I love Hulk Hogan, but Kane, I don't know why. Kane was like my ultimate all-time favorite wrestler.
Hell yeah.
And of course, up and coming Shannon the Cannon. Come on now. Let's get our boy in there.
You got to throw him in there. You got to give him his work. You got to give him his props.
Who, Shannon?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been able to see one. And then you got to send me a link so I can watch one.
We need to get
He's
Anthony
also playing the bad guy too. So yeah. Oh yeah. So we are going to go to 5 topics. There's a little bit of a delay in my internet, so I apologize if there's a delay or if I'm cutting out or lagging a little bit. Living in New Jersey, but nevertheless, Anthony, you do not get to the highest level of the game without, you're a great athlete, an amazing coach, with stunt choreographer and being a stuntman, but you don't get to the highest level of the game without being so knowledgeable and smart about the sport. You know everything there is to know. You've been through the process just like Jake, and we're going to play a game of 5 topics where we talk about 5 topics at random, brought up by our followers. And we're going to pick your brain, and we're going to get some insight from you, myself, and Jake. So are you ready to play 5 topics, good sir?
Let's go. Let's go with the 5 topics.
Let's go.
All right, we're going to go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're going to go to 5 topics. Let's go. We're going to go into 5 topics. Anthony just walked away for a bit, but nevertheless, 5 topics. Oh, there he is. So we're going to go into 5 topics. We're going to talk about 5 random topics that were chosen by you, our viewers, which we appreciate. And everyone can play at home. Everyone can leave a comment, talk to us, share your knowledge, let's put your thinking caps on and let's go to topic number 1. Anthony, are you ready for topic number 1?
Let's go.
Let's go. Jake, are you ready for topic number 1?
Let's go.
All right, let's go. Topic number 1. Let's go.
That's pretty good.
So the big fight that's happening is going to be Usman versus Edwards, the rematch. Obviously, Usman lost the championship. That last minute kick, oh my goodness, crushed my soul.
Yeah, I know.
And he's probably
all of Nigeria. All of Nigeria was pissed off. My mom called me.
All Nigeria was very, very pissed off.
Yeah. My mom called me and said,
But nevertheless, going into the rematch, what do you think about this fight? What do you think, Anthony?
Man, this is going to be – I already know for a fact Usman's going to come in hard as hell, but you better keep those hands up and you better watch those feints. So I'm going to go with Usman. He's going to be smarter this time around. I feel like he's going to do a lot of movements and implement a lot of wrestling. Use his striking to wrestle.
Fair enough. And Jake, what do you think about this rematch? Who do you think gets the win?
Hey, this one's tough because this will be the first time we've seen Usman coming in, not being the champion, coming off a walk-off KO. I mean, that's a pretty big KO. And Usman, I mean, he's been taking more and more shots every single fight. He's got an incredible chin, and I mean, he's dominated both fights, which has got to be frustrating. Yeah, like Anthony said. Keep your hands up. I think this fight might be a little closer than we think, but I think Usman probably pulls it off.
I think the biggest thing to focus on is Usman's been fighting at the highest level for so long. He's been a champion. He only had 1 loss going to the UFC. He was part of the Black Zillions, won the Ultimate Fighter, and then going right and fighting, some buzz kills, like buzz sauce, like especially fighting in his division. It's Murder's Row, his entire weight division. And he's fight consistently at the highest level. I mean, those 2 fights with Kobe Covington, a normal fighter, that would have taken years off your life. But he stuck in there, took some heavy shots, took some heavy blows, was able to weather the storm, and he came out victorious. So, I think with Leon Edwards, the biggest problem in his last fight was he knew he was winning. He knew he was up in the scorecards. So he decided to coast and say, okay, you know what? I already have this fight in the bag. All I have to do is just be defensive. And, it strays away from what he's very, very good at, is being on the attack, countering, setting up great shots. I think he strayed away from the formula that made him successful, and that's the reason why he got caught. And of course, putting your hands down. But what are the keys to victory? You would say, Anthony, for Usman to pull off this victory?
He would have to use a lot of wrestling against Edwards, because Edwards, I feel like he doesn't have that much ground skills from what I've seen, and he's gonna have to. I would say for Usman is to not focus too much on striking and just wrestle, and jiu-jitsu. Just wrestle the shit out of him.
Correct. And Jake, what do you, just wrestle the shit out of him. Just
yeah.
That's his bread and butter.
Yeah. No, Anthony stole my answer. It's the exact same thing. Usman's one of those guys like GSP later in his career that if he was smart, he's just going to start holding him down, not taking too much damage, and just doing enough work to hold him down and just ground and pound the shit out of him. So, yeah, same thing he's been doing pretty much, but he's just got to be able to hold him down.
Yeah. He can't let the crowd control the fight.
Yep.
Absolutely. Hey, he fights a boring fight. I don't care. I couldn't give a shit. It must be constipated. But, nevertheless, he can just ride it out. If he gets takedowns after takedowns, it just blankets him. It's the same thing that GSP did in the later stages of his career. Yeah. I don't care if the crowd boos. As long as Usman stays to the formula and stays to the script that made him successful and made him the athlete that he is today and the champion he is today, I couldn't really care. I couldn't really give a shit if the crowd boos, because Usman's formula, it worked. It's effective. Yep. GSP did it. I don't care if the crowd boos or not.
That's his problem right now. He's too worried about what the crowd and what everybody else is thinking. I mean, same thing like Jake said. Just wrestle the shit out of him, make the fight boring. Doesn't matter if the fight's boring. If you're winning, that's all that matters to you. That is.
Fair enough. So, are you ready, sir, for topic number 2?
Let's go.
Boom. All right, we're ready to go. Jake, are you ready for topic number 2?
Let's go.
Oh, my boy's ready. Let's go. Topic number 2.
Just a little ditty about 2.
So the big story that broke. I don't know if you're following BKFC or if you follow the space, but something happened today where there was an emergency meeting where it reminded me of the olden days of mixed martial arts, where the regional shows and the regional promotions, where they try to go into a state, and including the UFC too, when they try to get into, I think it was like UFC 12 or 13, where Mark Coleman was fighting on that card, and they were trying to fight, and they had to move it to Niagara Falls or something like that. It gave me the same type of deja vu. But everyone showed up, all the fighters showed up, and there was an emergency meeting where they said, BKFC, the fight is off. The mayor's getting complaints. Everyone's getting complaints. How say you? Yeah. Now, obviously, you might not follow BKFC, but isn't this kind of reminiscent of, because obviously BKFC is a new but old sport. I mean, bare knuckle fighting has been around since the 1800s, 1700s. I mean, it's a tale as old as time. But how do you feel when you hear about a promotion trying to put on a show, and then mayor, government officials actually get it torn down? Does it give you kind of flashbacks for when you first started fighting?
The only time that's ever happened when John Jones had that problem, and they had to cancel the whole card for UFC. And
they moved it, didn't they? They moved it from.
Did they move it?
I think they moved it from California to Vegas.
Oh, okay. I guess I think that's what it was.
I think
because I've never been on any fight card that has been completely canceled before. This is like the first time for me that I've ever witnessed anything like this before. I mean, it makes you wonder what's going on behind closed doors. Is the money laundering not happening? They get busted for that or something? Hey, my bad. Don't cancel me, BKFC. I'm sorry.
Don't edit that out. Don't leave
that. I don't know. It makes you wonder, what happened,
It's so crazy. And when the story broke, I was like, holy shit, because that was a big fight card that was played. My buddy cut weight. He went through the process. My buddy Isaac, shout out to him, went through the process, and then he gets to Florida, and they say, well, you got to pay vacation this weekend because nobody's fighting. Jake, how say you? Because obviously you had some somewhat business dealings with BKFC, but what say you about the cancellation of this event, and what do you think it stems from?
Again, Anthony, you might be onto something. They were paying. Number one, I didn't particularly care for how I was treated coming in. I was supposed to fight on the card, and I was supposed to be a part of the organization. And the way they ran things was completely poor. number one. So, and then they were paying fighters such a ridiculous amount. I mean, they were paying guys, they wanted to bring in some guys like Vanderlei and some different guys, and they wanted to pay them like 5 times more than what they were worth. It was just, you know, so there's no way, you know,
hey, BKFC want a fighter?
Yeah. We got our boy over here that wants to come in. So
I know a guy.
They're paying way too much money, and you just got to wonder how much money they're losing. Maybe they just don't have.
They have to. Yeah, they have to be losing a lot of money. Yeah.
But is it so it reminds me of like Affliction too, because you know they brought in a lot of UFC names and a lot of big names like Paige Van Zandt was brought in, very talented, exceptional fighter, but obviously she's not going to have much. It's very seldomly do former UFC fighters for some odd reason, and I think I know why, is because a lot of these knockout artists, the reason why they were knockout artists in the UFC is because people stay out of the pocket to avoid a takedown or being to avoid being put in a tricky situation. But you know, when you eliminate that element and that element of fear in the opponent says, okay, I can come right at you. You can't take me down. So like, nevertheless, you know, it reminds me of like Affliction. It reminds me of like a lot of these promotions that put all their eggs in a certain basket. And then what happens is, you know, there's no payoff where ticket sales aren't there or pay-per-view isn't there. And by the way, BKFC, awesome promotion. You know, BKFC app I have. I watched the pay-per-views. Awesome promotion. Great promotion. But it's so hard when you invest so much in these fighters or these big names and there's no return on the investment, especially for a startup company like BKFC, where you're not going to get a return on your investment for years and years down the road. What say you, Anthony?
I mean, like, how do they get their views? Do they get a lot of views? And how do they make their money in order to be able to pay all those fighters that amount of money? Because I know they paid Paige like what, half was like $1 million, one something.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
And yeah, she lost all her damn fights. So they like added money for what? Just because, I mean, probably all her OnlyFans people probably watched her on there and stuff. But I wouldn't have paid that kind of money for
That's an expensive OnlyFan right there.
For real.
I mean, like, you can play every sport with one ball, but combat sports takes two, you know? So I respect anybody, win or lose. If you made that walk, I have the utmost respect for you. You deserve respect from everybody because you're part of that 1% that has the balls to make that walk.
Especially with it being bare knuckle, because I did bare knuckle MMA, and that once I got hit one time, I was like, oh yeah, this shit is real. so I had to do a Uchimata to take him down, and I was out trying to do those stand-ups. So I know that BKFC, that straight up boxing, I know that's just brutal. And I have seen like some crazy fights in that thing. So I mean, it's their money is well deserved. So, but Paige Van Zandt.
I'm surprised we haven't gone full IBC. There's an old promotion. I have all the tapes because I'm a giant MMA nerd. But like Jose Pele was one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah.
Who trained with Shooter Box. But old school. And by the way, I say this, I can't stress enough. Watch Jose Pele fighting Chuck Liddell from IBC. Craziness. Fucking
30 minutes. It was over 30 minutes, wasn't it?
30 minutes of bare knuckle MMA. Holy Santa Claus shit.
Yeah, bare knuckle over 30 minutes.
Wasn't that they had like a net around the ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just popped out of nowhere.
What up, Dave?
What's good with you?
What's up, gentlemen? Sorry I'm a little late, but I made it in time.
It's all good.
How disappointed was your daughter when you posted the same grumpy face? I see, like the DNA test is in. Your daughter and you are related. You had the same grumpy face on when you took that picture. How was Six Flags? Was it that bad?
You know what? Six Flags. The rest of it is garbage, son.
It was not good.
At night, spend some time with my dogs. So
there you go.
Yep. Anyway, sorry.
Anthony, the assassin's in the building. So we're
going to Six Flags. What's going down?
So Ali actually said 30 minutes of bare knuckle, a moment of silence for brain cells lost, and that. Yeah, I you know what? I think it's safe. I think obviously if regulators regulate it, I would assume that it's safe, you know. But nevertheless, I mean, like, are we going to see any type of long-term damage? I mean, the fights get stopped if they can't respond to a standing 10 count and standing 8 count, just like boxing. But nevertheless, there's still deaths in boxing, and there was already one death in BKFC. So to answer Ali's question, what do you think about the safety of bare knuckle, Anthony?
Oh wow, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the person who. So somebody died in BKFC.
Yeah.
Oh wow, and they still have this thing going on.
Well, somebody fell incorrectly, and you know, something happened where he fell incorrectly, or he got hit, he fell, he passed away in the hospital. Something of that nature happened.
There's 8 deaths in boxing a year.
Oh yeah,
in boxing every year.
Damn.
Yeah, and let's be very honest. The Boxing Commission cares about one thing 99% of the time, and that's money. They don't give a shit about the fighters. Otherwise, it would be allowing this slap fighting league to go on. Not that I'm against the slap fighting league, but if you're really looking to protect a fighter, the slap fighting league isn't the way to do it.
I mean, my man's not wrong.
You lose more brain cells.
Anthony, you're gonna stick up for me and stand up for me. I like slap fight. I like power slap. I believe the sport deserves a chance, just like you guys deserved a chance when you were building the sport. You know, it's a new concept. People are scared of the unfamiliar. You know, people are putting a lot of effort and time. Anthony, you're gonna stick up for me about power slap.
I'm down. I'm down for that power slap. You know, I'm down for somebody to fall back on their back and then do a little somersault.
As long as you get the first shot, right?
One shot. That's all. Hey, I like seeing one and done fights. That's it.
My only complaint about power slap though is nobody has dressed up like Rick James from the Dave Chappelle skit. I feel like it's a missed opportunity. Nobody's had the cowboy hat.
Give it time. Give it time. Yeah. Give it time. Somebody's gonna do it, and they're gonna put a power slap shirt over and have a little Rick James curls and all that stuff. Well, somebody's gonna do it.
Unity.
It probably might be one of my homeboys that's on there. I told him, hey, you are one brave soul for going on that thing. I would never let another grown man slap me in the face for $5,000. Fuck you.
Is that how much the payoff is?
That's right.
No, it's the beginning UFC contracts for 2,000 to show, 2,000 to win. That's what power slap is. So they're starting off.
Oh, so it's lower than
2 and 2, so you better hope you get that knockout. So you get
I'm not letting another man slap me in the face for $2,000. I'm sorry.
Hell yeah.
My mom used to slap me for free. I mean, I get slapped for $2,000. I mean, that's it's money, you know.
That's your mother, though.
I mean, and the thing is, you don't get to smack mom back.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
You smack mom back, you're in some serious trouble.
If I ever slap my mom, man, I'm going through 3 walls. Then once I come back out of that wall, she's gonna slap me through another wall.
I'll get stabbed. My mom won't. She's just gonna stab me.
Yeah. Then you guys will see a tombstone talking about, here lies Anthony, the dumb motherfucker that tried to slap your mom.
But I'm sorry, guys. I came in late for the conversation. Are they saying that BKFC is canceled across the board, or is it just one event?
One event. Letters went to the mayor. Cancer culture came in, swooped in, said, "Mayor, you got to cancel this." All upset people.
In Florida.
In Florida.
That was in Florida.
I thought, come on, Florida's like the open state.
Yeah.
Like, you can do methamphetamines everywhere in Florida, and then have sex with alligators. I've seen it. I saw it on TikTok.
All right, speaking of sex with alligators.
Hey,
all right, speaking of sex with alligators. You ready for topic number 3?
Let's go.
3. Are you ready for topic number 3? Have we scared you away yet?
Let's go.
Let's go to 3.
What's topic number 3? Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go to topic number 3.
Clean hands, feet on the feet. 3.
All right, gentlemen, we are going to topic number 3. So the rumor going around, and somebody actually brought this up and messaged like, you got to talk about this. So Mayweather obviously is on the retirement world tour, which I don't mind. He deserved to make his money. however way he won a bronze medal for our country. He went whatever 50, 70 and 0. Like he's one of the greatest of all time. Now he's on the retirement world tour and he's collecting that money. So there is a rumor going around that he is going to be in a tag team boxing match with KSI to fight against some YouTuber and Pacquiao. Anthony, what say you about the Mayweather retirement entertainment world tour? What do you have to say? What say you?
That's a bunch of rubbish right there.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of rubbish. Just trying to find any way to fight weaklings. Come on now. Wait, but are him and Pacquiao going to go at it, or it's just him and Pacquiao just going to go at it with the YouTubers? Is that how it's going to go? That's what I want to know.
I'm freezing up, but yeah. So I believe the. Where are you saying, Gabe? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say it sounds like it's Mayweather and KSI as one team.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I mean, look,
it's hella ridiculous. You know, they hey, to each his own. They're making money. Do your thing, but come on now. You guys gonna fight YouTubers? I would at least say give Pacquiao, make it Pacquiao Mayweather 2. Come on, at least do that. You know how much money they'll be able to make from that, and how much money they'll be able to draw in. Come on, I'd rather do something like that than this YouTuber. YouTuber versus old men. No. They're both the same age. They're both the same age. They might as well just go toe to toe with one another.
Two young guys, two old guys. I mean, it works out for everybody. Gabe, what say you about? Obviously, you dabbled in outside ventures. Gabe, wake up, please.
Gabe, goddamn it.
God damn it, Gabe.
what are we talking about? Boring shit? Is that what we're talking about? Look, like Anthony said, like it.
Shannon right there.
Make their money. They want to make their money. It's going to be garbage, and they won't be making any money from me. So, I mean, I'm over it. And like, look, I give Mayweather all the credit in the world for being as irrelevant as he is in the boxing world. He is still making money, and doing these nonsense gigs are going to make him money off of something where he's not going to put himself in any danger. Hats off to that man. Mm-hmm. But I have no interest whatsoever. I'm over Mayweather. I'm over just the like, let's make up silly fights for YouTubers and get out of here, man. I want to see the best of the best. I don't want to see old dudes. And look, okay, my friend was talking about this the other day. The Tyson Jones fight, that hurt me. Like, watching it was painful. And look, both of them in their prime were amazing. But like, come on, guys. Look, you're making money, and I respect that. But come on.
It was awesome. Joe, that was nostalgia. That was for the '90s kids. And
nostalgia.
It was nostalgia. It was awesome. It was Jones.
Nostalgia. When you watch something, you're like, yes, that's what I remember. Not two old ass dudes that can barely box anymore. Like, there was no nostalgia there. That wasn't Roy Jones throwing triple hooks. That wasn't Tyson dipping down with like a fierce uppercut hook combination. No, there was no nostalgia in that. No,
they could have literally.
It looked like two guys, if they accidentally threw a punch too hard, they'll break their back. Oh shit, my back! I threw that right hook too hard.
You guys are assholes. I thought it was awesome. It was amazing. I mean, it was nostalgia. They could have sat in the ring for 10 rounds.
If Jones,
I am the biggest Roy Jones Jr. fan on the planet. He is my favorite fighter in the fucking world. I thought in his prime he was the best fighter in the world. I think you guys could agree. But like Gabe was saying, there's no triple hooks. I remember he threw a jab, an uppercut, and a cross all in one combo. I mean, the guy had played a professional basketball game and then went in and boxed. That's how bored he was. But he looked awful. Tyson looked like he could still duck down and knock your head off. But Roy Jones Jr., man, I was super fucking disappointed. Yeah. Super disappointed.
Segue, Shannon Rich asked, what do you think about the new film, The Weapon? I loved it. I had to suspend disbelief, though, because Shannon's a really nice guy, and for him playing a bad guy, I cannot suspend disbelief.
So you watched it?
Yes.
So did you see me at the end?
Yeah. Yes. Wait, yes! Yes!
Yeah, I was in that. I was a bad guy. I was a bad guy standing by the door.
No fucking
Okay,
way.
okay.
Yeah, I did that whole fight scene. Actually, what's the name got me that part? Kieran Gallagher.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kieran got me that part. He even got me that speaking role too. Matter of fact.
Yeah, it was an awesome movie. It was a great movie. And Ali says she hates when I agree with Gabe. So yeah.
Why do you hate that?
It doesn't happen very often.
98% of the time.
I hate that. Dude, like, let me have my rose-colored lenses. Let me just be a fan, man. Why you gotta bust my bubble? Are you gonna say Sakuraba sucks now? Are you gonna really kill my dreams?
If Sakuraba were to come out and fight again, I'd be like, yo, don't let my man die. No.
Okay, good point.
If nostalgia, listen, when I saw his grappling match with Henzo, I was like, dude, come on, don't do this. Don't like that. I didn't feel nostalgia. I felt like, dude, my old broken hero is putting it on the line once again. And come on, son. Like, I get it. Like, but no.
Fair enough. So, Anthony, sir, are you ready for topic number 4?
Let's go. Number 4.
All right, fair enough. We haven't scared away our guest, the great assassin. We haven't scared him away yet. Let's go.
You got Gabe in here. What are you talking about? Me? You got Gabe in here, Mr. Legend back there. Come on now.
Yeah, man. I'm a fat old man.
Is my free Kajuja MMA shirt in the mail? By the way,
it could be in the mail.
Unbelievable.
Love question 4.
Sounds so soulful, don't you agree? Okay, number 4. It's actually a rumor going around that Zingano is trying to broker a deal where he fights Deontay Wilder in boxing. This is a dangerous game to play. However, it's a money-making game to play. Anthony, what say you? Zingano wanting to dabble into boxing and make that big money payday.
I mean, Francis, my boy, long live Africa. But Deontay Wilder, heavy hitter, steel hands. Oh, the Bronx Bomber. I don't know about that one. That's gonna, but get your money. That's all I gotta say. But it's not gonna be an easy fight. I tell you that. It's not gonna be like any of the guys he's fought in UFC where he can just drop bombs and knock them out. Like, you're fighting somebody that has some skills, some movement, all that stuff, head movement. Yeah, he's not gonna stand there and let you throw a wild uppercut and knock him out. That's not gonna happen. But get your money, bro. That's all I gotta say. Get your
money. Shout out to Shan Rich. Not all of us old guys are done. I have a match with Mark the Hammer Coleman coming up in Canada, pro wrestling style. I'm excited for that. That's fun.
Wow. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Hell yeah, make your money. So, Gabe, obviously, Kajuja MMA four-time world champion. BJJ Black Belt owns one of the best gyms on the planet next to this guy's gym. But nevertheless, you know,
very close.
Yeah,
like it's the top 1-2. When all the rankings go up, it's always 1-2. It falls back and forth. I thought the Ngannou. I mean, look, I want him to get money. Like, genuinely, when everything's said and done, I want Ngannou to make his money. I think the Tyson Fury fight that they were talking about has much more lucrative backing behind it. But I mean, look, if he makes his money and Wilder is a good boxer and there's no denying it, but hey, man, like, Ngannou will get paid for that fight and the man deserves it. Like, dude, he worked in salt mines. Are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, yo, like, his backstory is like one of those inspirational tales. And like, yo, when everything came to fruition about what he was asking for from the UFC, my man was also trying to, in a lot of ways, change the sport for the better.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm sure there was money numbers that was not talked about, but the things that he brought up were things that I was like, yo, that's a man that is looking out for the fighters and for the change of the realm of MMA for the better. And that is enough. I can root for that guy no matter what.
Fair enough. Jake, what say you? Zingano, Deontay Wilder. I mean, this is the Bronx Bomber, man. This is a dangerous game he's playing. Nevertheless, it's Zingano. Never doubt him, especially, you know, he's Mike Tyson's punch out. You know, he's one punch it could be setting him the dream streak and setting the boxing world on fire and putting it upside down. But Jake, what say you about this fight or potential fight?
Again, Gabe, stop fucking stealing all my answers. No, and I think Gabe's right. I think this fight had much more appeal with Fury, and I think it's a tough sell with Wild. I mean, look, Ngannou's story, like Gabe said, is I've never heard Rogan be quiet for 3 hours, because that story was, if the fans haven't heard it, get on Rogan and listen to Ngannou's story. It's the true Slumdog Millionaire. Yeah, it's an amazing story. But I just don't think this fight has as much appeal with Deontay Wilder. I just don't. I mean, I'll watch it because I'm a junkie and I like fights, but I don't think it has the appeal, and I think it's dangerous because Wilder's very tall. He's going to keep him away. This is boxing, and when you shift gears and you're used to using all your weapons, it's a tough, it's a tough shift of gears sometimes. And the Bronze Bomber, that right hand might be the hardest punch I've ever seen in all combat sports. Yeah. That is, I mean, God, even barely when he clips somebody, he puts them away. So it's a tough road for Ngannou. But again, I hope he gets his money. I really do.
And I hope he gets his money too. And I actually agree with Gabe and Jake. It's not bursting my bubble when I think Ngannou is probably the most deserving, and he's a missed opportunity with the UFC. I felt the machine didn't get behind him the way they should have. So obviously, like, I don't know if Anthony, you're going to agree with me, or you can correct me, but the UFC is going to look at what your pay-per-view numbers are, what your ticket sales are. They're going to look at all the metrics, how many shirts you sell, whatever. And then obviously they're going to have to make 150% profit on you. So obviously you're not going to, if you're worth $20 million, you can't pay $20 million considering that, that's not a sustainable business model. And I believe that every fighter should get $500 million for how much work and time and blood, sweat, and tears they put into the sport. If it was a sustainable business model. And of course, UFC wants a profit. Now the MMA, unlike you guys who helped build the sport to what it is today, all three of these guys helped build the sport to what it is today. Where there was no money whatsoever, and you guys weren't fighting for social media followers. You guys were fighting to be the best fighter in the world. And that's why I respect, and that's why everybody should respect all three of you. Nevertheless, now that MMA is under the confines of publicly traded companies, they're going to say, okay, this fighter's worth $20 million. We can't pay that because we're not going to make any money off of him. So we're going to have to, pay him. Okay, you're worth $20 million. Let's pay you $500,000. So we make a great profit and we can continue the ball rolling. So Ngannou, I think it's a missed opportunity because he could have made those numbers, those ticket sales, those Conor McGregor numbers. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he was MMA's version of Mike Tyson. Knockout power, captured the imagination, just like Bob the Beast Sapp did in 2002 before he was exposed by Mirko Krokop in K1. But he captured imaginations. He was getting there. The machine just did not get behind him, so he could show that he was worth that big money payday. And John Jones, it took him, 2 years stepping out of the sport in order to get that big payday? Ngannou is a missed opportunity for the UFC to have that next big star, that next big thing. And yeah, if you can make money with Deontay Wilder, even though it's a dangerous fight, so be it, man. And Anthony, please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my personal opinion. I have to agree with all three of you gentlemen in a certain way.
Well, I feel like the reason why he didn't do it, he could have did it if he wanted to do it. He wanted to stay with UFC for a very long time, but he was trying to let UFC know that he's not a puppet. He's not going to be played like how they play all these other fighters, especially those that see what he's doing and they could ride with him, but instead they want to make fun of him. But not knowing that what he's doing can actually change the whole organization and help them all out, making the correct amount of money as they all should be, especially some of the champions. Because I went through it trying to get the amount of money that I should have received when I was fighting for them, but nobody wanted to do what was necessary in order to help us all out. So I had to go with what they gave me, so I wouldn't lose my spot. So I feel I pretty much go with what Francis is going, and I give him much props for doing what he did, but that's going to be a tough fight for him. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. That correlates with Gabe, since our first episode, you have said that to a T where, it's either take the money, you take this opportunity, or you lose your spot. And you actually said this in our very first episode. I remember it because it always radiated with me like, holy shit, again, popping my bubble. And it was a little bit of a different kind of truth, but it is the truth. Yeah, they're the game in town right now, right?
It's a ruthless business. And if you want to fight for the biggest organization, they know they're the biggest organization, and as long as they can keep nickel and diming, and as long as people are willing to fight for the money that's there, and the reality is if you're a pro fighter, to get your name out there and to get the recognition that you want, they're the 800-pound gorilla. And I took a fight on 3 weeks' notice after having a back injury, and I was like, hey, can have them see if they can throw me a little extra cash just because I'm taking the fight on 3 weeks' notice. I'm trying to prepare after I haven't trained for 2 months. I need to just a little compensation. And my manager laughs at me and goes, you really want me to go to Joe Silva and ask for more money? He's going to say no. And then he's going to say there are 20 other guys that will take the spot.
Yeah. Good job. For that. Yeah.
And I said, well, can you ask him? And he goes, yeah, no problem. He calls me back. He goes, 2AT. What Joe told me at the time is, okay, no problem. We got 20 other guys that will take the fight. Have a good day.
Damn.
And then on top of that, they said, and you know what? We were not going to look at Gabe again. What do you do in a scenario like that? You know what I mean? Like, okay, I gotta roll the dice. This is a guy that I know I can beat, but preparation is a part of that. But you got to take the chance, right? If you think you're one of the best fighters, so one thing you said, Dave, that I actually disagree with. I never thought I was the best fighter in the world. I was just trying to test myself and see what I could get out of this. I've never been an athlete. Every single time has just been me testing my will and seeing how much I can get out of this. No more, no less. And I have faltered at times, but even in my falter, it's been a lesson for me to grow and get better. But all I've ever done is try to stand up as a man on my 2 feet and go forward. No more, no less. I've never thought I was better than anybody. I knew I could lose to people. That's part of the game. There's people that are better than I am. I've trained with some exceptional fighters in my life. I know how good so I've never thought I was the best in the world, but I've always wanted to test myself, and I've always wanted to see how much I could do.
Train with Anderson.
At the time when I had the opportunity to do it in the UFC, it was like, this is the big show. There's no other real opportunity to really get to do it, right? No. And the UFC knows that. And what Anthony was saying earlier about Njokuani, in a lot of ways, I think he was taking one for the team, and the team are the fighters, the guys that are putting their time and effort in to do this sport and not getting paid. And I'm sorry, are people getting paid?
No.
Even Connor money, if we take Connor's money from the whiskey out of it, he's not getting paid what he's really worth.
Right.
He's not. For the amount of eyes on and money that he's bringing into the company, you take the whiskey out, my man, and I'm not a Connor fan, but he's not getting paid his worth. Yeah. Njokuani was getting raped. I'm sorry. $500,000 for what that man was putting himself in through is raping.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love the UFC. I love the entire business, and I love doing what I'm doing. And it just I can have my own personal feelings, and I think MMA, it's now under the confines of business owners. They're literally corporate Fortune 500 companies, and they're looking at the bottom line. I don't necessarily, the purity of the sport obviously is out the window because now it's corporate. I love the UFC, but again, it's under the confines of publicly traded companies. They want their bottom line. If someone's worth $20 million, they can't pay $20 million because they're not going to make a profit. And boxing is in shambles right now. So I'm going to go on the defense of the fighter, which I wish everyone got paid $500 trillion every fighter. And, I wish it was a sustainable business model.
When 12% of the revenue is going to the fighters, 12% of the revenue, there's an issue there. Yeah. And I have been a UFC fan since I was 16 years old. I saw UFC 4 on pay-per-view on Dish Network, to give you an idea how old I am. And I have always been a fan, and I still love the UFC. There's still fights that I get super hyped about. And there is not another organization. Bellator is amazing. ONE FC is amazing. PFL is amazing, but the UFC holds that 800-pound gorilla for a reason. And they absolutely deserve to make money. I have no doubts as a business, but when 12% is going to the talent that is putting forth the fight, you cannot sit there and tell me that's a fair arrangement.
No.
Fair enough. Well, who's the 4-time world champion in the room? Because I think we'll give you the last word.
I think
sir.
Anthony's got some world titles in his.
You do have some world titles, don't you, Anthony?
He has more. I just got knockout nights. That's it. Knockout nights to fight nights. But you're a 4-time. I'm only 2-time.
That's an accolade. I don't have any knockouts of the night, so there you go.
There you go. So, Anthony, Toastmaster General of Ceremonies, are you ready for topic number 5?
Let's go. Topic number 5. Let's do
Jake,
this.
are you ready for topic number 5, sir?
Let's go. Number 5.
4-time world champion Gabe, are you ready for topic number 5? Fair enough. Let's go to the last topic. Topic number 5.
Let's make a baby 5.
Fuck yeah. So we're going to get to topic number 5. So this was brought up with Marab. Shout out to Marab. I love all of Longo's gym. I love everybody that is a part of that gym. Murders Row, top to bottom. We had Steamroller on our show. Matt, great guy. Shout out to him. Marab won a big victory against Peter Zen. He was the underdog. I thought that was questionable why they made him an underdog. Nevertheless, Marab won. And Dana White made the argument, well, Marab, you really should rethink fighting your teammate Funkmaster. So, Anthony, what say you? Obviously, Taylor Zola's time. T. Ortiz didn't want to fight Chuck Liddell because they were teammates or friends. Rashad Evans and John Jones, that ended pretty quickly. So what say you about should teammates fight each other?
I feel like that shouldn't happen because I would never fight somebody out, that I look as a brother, look as family. And one, they know everything about me. So how's that gonna play out in the fight? If he knows knows my specialty and they know my specialty, and then that's something that I couldn't do myself. I couldn't fight anybody that I've trained with for so long and call them a brother or call them family. I couldn't do that. I don't know how any of these guys do it because I would look at them and be like, damn, I know your mom. I went to your house to go eat dinner one time. And we'd be sharing the ring together. No, we can't do that. I'm sorry.
No way.
There's no love. I guess there's no love in other gyms that they are quickly to stab one of their teammates in the back and say, let's do this.
So, Jake, what do you say? Should teammates fight each other?
This one's interesting. And Anthony, I've seen your classes, brother, and I've seen you train. So you sparring with your teammates is about a fight. So you might as well get paid for it.
Hey, they hit me hard. I got hit though. Come on.
Right? Starts off easy. The next thing you know, we're going at it. But it's that's a tough one. I agree with Anthony. But God, if the money's right, and I got to be honest with you, did you see Aljamain's face in the post octagon after Marab showed a victory? He did not look happy. That was quite an impressive performance.
Hell yeah.
So I don't know, Marab coming from a third world country, maybe not having the opportunities. Maybe this is his only chance. Sounds like they're trying to move Aljo up and weight, perhaps, but this is going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one to turn down.
Yeah. And Gabe, by the way, just bringing up the numbers, Marab had 49 shots. 49 shots. That is 2 more shots than I did at my fiance before she decided to go on a date with me. That is impressive numbers, impressive shots. But Gabe, Mr. Gabe, 4-time world champion, what say you? Should teammates?
First off of what you just said, 49 attempts, only 11 takedowns. We have to also give Peter Yan some credit for that takedown defense. That's
Touché,
exceptional defense as well.
Touché, sir.
But so my feeling is, if you throw down in the room, and I have training partners that we have tried to kill each other in the room, might as well get paid to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, in a scenario where, look, if you are getting busy in the room with each other, and again, I've gotten into it to the point where it was a fight and had to get broken up, and then had to sit down and afterwards and apologize for each other because it's the room gets. I don't know about I'm just talking about for some of the rooms I've been in. It gets heated at times, but you know what? We're there to test ourselves, and if there's someone that I test myself with on the daily, I definitely would think it would be very awkward team-wise. But we're just trying to expand and see how far we can go. And if you get to a point where you're number 1 and 2, and there's nobody else,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that's
Hey,
you know,
plus keep in mind, Gabe, to your point, the money changes. So Marab could fight number one contender, he could stay there, but he's not going to get those pay-per-view points. And those could be life-changing numbers.
Yep.
Life-changing numbers.
I will say that it will get awkward if you have someone that just takes the lunch off of the other person every class, like every spar. Like he knows he's like the guy's the champion, but his teammate is the real guy in the room, and he knows that. That's when you're gonna have your Tito Ortiz. We're best friends. We're not gonna fight. We're not like because you already have an idea of what's going to happen. But I will also say another thing is the room is a very, very different animal than actually fighting.
Yeah.
And I know some dudes that in the room, you're like, this guy's going to lose the fight. He's not ready. And he just explodes and becomes a different man. And you have other guys that in the room, this guy cannot be beat. He is destroying everybody. And then he goes out there. You're like, who's this guy? This is not the guy I was training with like a week ago, who's just mopping the room. And so when the lights are on and the fight's different, there's a whole different animal that comes there too. So my feeling is let it ride. Fuck it.
So we're heading towards the end of the show, the end of the program. The great Anthony joining us. We appreciate you being on the show. Obviously, we're going to our last segment, which is final words. So we're going to give shout outs, your final thoughts, what's going on with you, where can we follow you. So we're going to go into a little segment we call final words.
You think it's a game? You think it's a fucking game?
All right, so final thoughts from the assassin, two-time world champ.
Not like Gabe, 4-time.
World champ, a coach, a pioneer, somebody that's spreading his wisdom to all the students. Where can we find your gym? Where can we follow you on social media? Obviously, we want to stay in touch. What final words, what last words have you say, sir?
I think our boy froze.
I think he froze.
He's iconic. He's frozen in history. Here we go.
Frozen in history. Oh, there he is.
I don't know what happened, but yeah, you guys can follow me on my IG is Anthony.Njokuani on my IG page, and then also I do train and teach out here in Las Vegas at self-made training facilities. And I do want to thank you guys for having me on. It's been a much pleasure and good to meet you, Gabe.
Absolute pleasure, Anthony.
Same here, brother. Awesome.
Yeah,
thank you. Appreciate you guys having me on here. It was fun. best interview I've ever had, or the best podcast I've been on, to tell you the truth. It's not a podcast, but yeah.
It's a television program podcast. We can call it.
Yeah.
What you want.
Best one, hand down, I've ever been on.
We appreciate that.
You're a two-time world champ. You can call it whatever you want, sir.
Right.
It's a podcast, damn it.
Podcast, goddammit. Andy said so. So, final thoughts, final words from the four-time world champion, BJJ black belt, and owns one of the best gyms on the planet next to Anthony's gym. It's a close first and second. It's a kind of a
back and forth. I'm telling you, when you look at the universe rankings, it goes 1-2 depending what the month is. But no, I'm glad I was able to get on the show. I know I was a little late, but Anthony, absolute pleasure, and I wish nothing but the best for you and everything with your. I'm sorry, my dogs are fighting here. They're playing hard. With your acting career and with just life in general, and it is always a pleasure talking to you, gentlemen. And I have to agree with Anthony. This was probably the best show we've had, at least top 5.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah,
absolute pleasure.
Very comfortable being here.
And we all have to thank the man himself, Jake Thunder Hatton, for introducing Anthony to us and getting him on the show. Obviously, an absolute honor to talk to Anthony, another pioneer who helped build the sport to what it is today and a part of that elite group. It was an honor to meet you, Anthony. But Jake Thunder Hatton, who hooked it up and brokered the deal and got the great Anthony on, the great Jake Thunder Hatton. Final thoughts, final words from the man himself.
Man, I love the show every week, but I look forward to my boy rising up into the acting world, into the stunt world, and watch everything he's doing. So everybody keep an eye out for him. He's got some big things coming down the pipeline.
Absolutely. And by the way, buy the weapon and see our boy Anthony. Anthony, come on, just give us a teaser. Come on, what movies you got in the pipeline after the weapon and your guest appearance? What I knew I recognized you somewhere. I knew it. But what movies are in the pipeline? Come on.
We have one action movie that's supposed to be coming up that we're training right now. I can't give out the name of it because they haven't given me the name yet. So, but that's what we're working on right now. And, it's been rough. We've been working with some wires and all that stuff. But yeah, it's been good. It's been real good. It's been a completely different experience than any other thing that I've ever done. But I cannot wait until I'm able to say the name of it. Once I get the name of it, but yeah, once it happened, then I'll shoot it to you guys.
Awesome, awesome. Anthony, an absolute pleasure having you on the show. We're proud to call you a friend of Jake's. We're glad that Jake helped get you on so we can find out your story and also talk to the great Anthony himself, a MMA pioneer, UFC vet, kickboxing guru, and also a coach who's now training the next generation. It was an absolute honor. And speak about things in the pipeline. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for coming on. Thank you very much for the fight. Make sure we'll be back next week. And also, just a little bit of a teaser. We have some other things in the pipeline with our good friends at Amazon. So we'll leave you with a teaser for that. And we'll see you next week on the Fight Mixer. Peace.
Take care, guys.
Having a hard time going back to the gym after working out at home? Well, now you don't have to with the X-Bar. The X-Bar from X-Bar Fitness is an incredible gym alternative that gives you the same intense workout you get at a full gym with hundreds of machines. One X-Bar alone provides the same workout as a cable machine, bench press, dumbbell set, free weights, leg press, barbell set, and all these other machines. Stop wasting time debating whether or not you should go to the gym. Order the X-Bar to get a quality workout in the comfort of your own home.